But I think people in the end really don't care if it's AI or nothing else. They just want something that answers their need.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think IA will not be a marketing argument anymore for like not much in the future because what the user wants to know is like it's realistic, for example, or like you do a beautiful exterior and the grass look like natural. But like knowing this is done by AI or fucking human or whatever, a painter, they don't care. They just want the result.
Yes.
So often it's the same with the Apple product. You know, they don't sell like a CPU. They just sell like this is so powerful. This is even 10 times powerful than your last Mac. And that makes sense, like for users, like, wow, okay, amazing. We did it? It's because we reduced like the nanometers of the printing or whatever, then no one's care. Like only the tech people look at it. Today I welcome Pauline Clavelou on the show. So thanks for accepting my invitation.
Hello, Martha. Hello, everyone.
Pauline, if you should resume your path as an entrepreneur, how you will do that?
I think it's all started with I have the big idea and I want to build, and I don't build it because I realize it's too difficult, or I don't have some skills, or I don't know how to do. So I have this idea I start to work on and I don't do anything, and then a year later I have a complete other mindset. And I think right now it's more like I start to build some business and let's see if it works or not. And if it
Okay.
works, obviously, let's focus on it.
So that's how you started your first idea, like IDEACrea.
Yes, it wasn't my first idea, but it's the first one that I think was quite profitable comparing to
Okay.
the other one.
Give us some example of other idea you did and never worked.
So for instance, I think it was the first one I built to the end, that it was a crypto trading. I created a bot that traded like every time, like every day, every night, constantly on crypto. And it
Okay.
automatically buy and sell for myself. So I earned money with this. It was quite profitable, a multiple of 5. To compare it, I think the Bitcoin was 3 times, so it was better than the whole market. And I
Nice.
had this idea, but the problem is, in France at least, you are not able to sell the way to trade for people. So, because you need some regulation and
Yeah.
you have
And then
to
you
have a
died before you.
certificate. Yes, so it was a journey I didn't want to start because it would take me maybe 2 years to have the certification I didn't want. So I tried to sell alerts, like notification to tell people
Mhm.
when to buy, when to sell, based on some parameters. So I tried to sell this, but I had 0 clients in the end. So
Okay.
yes,
And
that was a fail.
yeah, this still exists? Like this still trading for you?
No, I stopped it because at a certain moment it was our model
Mm.
was great when the market was either profitable, either in stagnation, but not when it's complete crashing. So I stopped it, and after I did some other businesses, and I didn't take the time to start it again. Yeah, it was an idea we had this year with my co-founder, but at the end we didn't take this time. We had some other priorities, let's say.
Yeah. And quick question to this project, like you said, like it was regulation in France, blah blah blah. But in the crypto world, many people pay in crypto and fuck the system. Why you didn't go that way?
I'm allowed in France even to buy and sell crypto. I am allowed to it, but to have a company that buy and sell for other people, this is regulated. And I could say, I don't care, but I think I'm too legally scared. I mean, I want to do things correctly. So I think you
Yeah.
can have big problem if you don't. So I really don't want to take any risk on this.
Yeah, for sure. You can have a big problem, but I was just asking that to know
Yeah.
if it was the part of the decision, it was something else. Okay, thanks for that. So that was the first one, and like between this one and Idea Crea, how much project did you started and launched?
I think around 2 or 3. There was I think I had one interesting. It's called Unreal Me. The website it's still live, but it's not mine anymore because I sold it. I think three months after I launched it. The
Okay.
idea was I just surfed on the AI trend. I built a SaaS where you could upload photos of yourself, and the idea was to turn yourself into funny pictures like yourself in Spider-Man or in
Yeah,
3D
nice.
or it was fun, but I think it wasn't something really serious. Like people don't need it. It's not a recurrent need, so it was one-time payment,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a big vision on this, so I sold it. And yeah, I had a few other one, but like there is another one I didn't launch actually because I launched, but I exit the day I launched because Elon Musk.
That was fast.
Yeah, because that day Elon Musk announced the API will now cost
No way.
32,000 every month. So I said, okay, I don't have this
Bye. It
amount.
was a good journey.
Yeah.
And what was the project doing?
It was called Tweet Explorer, and the idea was to export all your data Twitter to Google Sheets. And we provided some templates like to analyze all your data, like your audience, your tweets, and to automatically. And also you could post it, and so it was more an analysis tool. I have to say my background is
Yeah, we
is
missed that
working in
from
data,
the beginning.
so I love to analyze them.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. And talking about the background, I think we didn't went much far, but like you can talk a bit about like where you were before becoming an entrepreneur, and since when are you an entrepreneur?
I studied engineering, IT, and then I worked for 9 years at IBM as a data scientist. But at the beginning, I knew nothing about data science because it was a very new job. It was a
Why
very
did
early
you
stage.
took the job? You find that the topic interesting then?
Yes, exactly. I did an Erasmus in Barcelona, and there I studied big data. We don't talk much about big data anymore, but at this
Yes.
time I learned it, and I said, well, that's cool to work in data, so I wanted to continue there. And
Okay.
I think, yes, I don't know if I answered your whole question. I kind of forgot.
No, no, the point was like to know a bit like your
Mhm.
background. So you went to IBM and you worked like it was the only company you worked for until you quit?
I worked a few months for a company called Avanade, which is a joint venture between Microsoft and Accenture. So
Okay.
basically, there I was consultant as working for an ERP. But yeah, I didn't stay longer because my dream was to work at IBM at that moment.
Okay. That's really something you wanted. What was attracting you in IBM to make that as a dream?
Yeah, because at this time I thought I really, in my mind, IBM was innovative. They were good at technology.
I like the
So I
in my
say,
mind.
yes. So I say, okay, I want to be part of it.
Okay. Okay, so your experience inside was different than your expectation like
No, they are
before
very
going?
good. They are really good at technology.
Okay.
But it's a big
Okay.
company, so you
Yeah, of course.
sometimes you say, "Oh, I will do this, this, this," and actually, because it's
Politics
very
happen
big,
and
you are yes.
yeah, that's the sad part of company, like a big company, like and it's like it's not like IBM, it's like any company, they struggle with politics because at one point you have so many humans, it's like becoming a country, so you have politics problems. But yeah, okay. And what pushed you to leave this world, like because you have been in corporate world for a while, so what pushed you to go to indie making journey?
I think I always had many ideas. I always wanted to create, but I think like 10 years ago, I was too young. I was scared by administrative stuff.
Mm.
Um,
I'm still scared,
I
huh?
I had
You
a
grow up
path.
in.
Yeah, but yeah, 10 years ago, I did a bit of freelancing, but also I created some projects that, as I said before, I just never
Mhm.
launched. But I think I was ready like 3 years ago because when I started this project of crypto, it was after or during COVID. It was during COVID, you had this period in France, like you were able to travel, but you had to, I don't know how it's
To fill the
curfew in
paper?
English.
Yeah, coffee
No,
is
when you
coffee.
have, yeah, curfew. So there is this. So I visited a friend of mine that is developer, and I said, "Oh, I have this project. Do you want to build it with me?" And said yes. And her husband, he actually really he isn't scared by administrative. He kind of likes it.
So
So I said, "Okay, so we have this person. He can help
perfect.
us. So now we can build this project together." And I think I was scared, but now it's when you go through the step or people really takes time to explain to you, then it becomes easier.
Yeah, I think like for everything is like that, like I was scared for a long time for of data, like handling data and stuff like that. And in some project you need that, like in CapGo, I need that, and I was like, oh, I don't want to go there. And then I started to work in a company like where we did that, and I was like, oh, it's not so complex. You just need to know the things and someone telling you, and everything can be learned. It's just like take the time of it, and you can go through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So okay, so that's super nice. You started this journey like that, and so now let's go to your current project. Like, what's the current project you're working on right now?
Yes, and so right now I'm working at mainly for AI-Crea, which is a SaaS for real estate agent,
Hmm.
at least at the first time. Basically, the tool that you just upload a photo of a home that is, of a room that is not really nice, like really old, like think about your grandma's home. And the idea is to turn it into a beautiful home. Or it's an empty room and that you want to add some furniture to it, but all of this automatically with AI. So this is the idea, and the idea is to be really simple, because the real estate agents aren't interior
Like
decorator.
from
So it's not
yeah.
their. They don't want to customize to say I want this ground, I want this kind of color on the wall. Just want to say I want something beautiful in Scandinavian theme, for example, and yes, and the magic happens.
Okay, and where did you get this idea from? Because like this is far from your world. It look like from the external point of view.
It is far, and I think one of the difficulty was to find clients, but it was near my skill because I previously, like I said a few words before on Unrealme, but the idea was kind of the same. I use images and I use like processes to on these images to finally not change the face, your face, but I
Yeah.
change the image of a room. So I think skills were pretty much the same. So I use this skill, and then I had to find the audience. I have to find the client, which is I think it was more difficult than the tech.
Okay. And okay, so the client things is the difficult part, and like how did you learn about like addressing them? Like, did you went to agency, like, or how did you get in contact with this niche finally?
I actually went to some communities of real estate agents, online and offline, like in physically. I met some people, like there is some event for real estate, and I went there and I discussed with people and say, "Hey, I'm building this. Do you think it's interesting for you?" And asking for feedbacks, and people try. People were happy, and they say, "Oh, okay, now how can I pay to use this service?" So it's actually really nice to see people willing to pay to use it.
That's very nice. That's very nice. And do you share publicly how much you're making with that lately?
Yeah, I shared sometimes. I think I'm around the 8,000
Okay.
month.
And how long it took you to reach this?
About a year. But
A
I
year?
think it's all started. Yeah, like month after I think it took me like 4 months to reach 500,
Hmm.
and then I grew it, and now it's 8,000, and now I'm trying to grow it even more.
Okay. And what are you trying to do to grow it? Like, what's your main focus on the business right now?
I'm trying to find some new marketing way,
Hmm.
new kind of client. Also, I was focused on the real estate agent, but I think I could sell it to some other persona. So I'm working on this as well. I like to always use kind of the same tech, but
Yeah.
differently for the different persona. So this is something I'm really trying to do currently. And let's see if it works. But I have some different clients, like some businesses use AI-Crea with the API. So people really build business on top of AI-Crea. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool. I sell it differently. It's not a subscription like on the website
Yeah,
because it's
it's
not
like
end users, but
by
it's
users usage. Yeah.
exactly. But some use high volume, so
Okay.
it's pretty nice.
I'm like curious, like what type of client used you as a API? Because I don't see agency doing that, so it's like
Yeah, it's like the portal and a listing website, for instance.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It could be an upsell from a listing website, yeah. And,
yes.
okay, makes sense. So cool. So cool use case. Okay, I think we can go to some interesting question on that. Like, do you have like a struggle to grow this business? Things like is are difficult for you still because you were talking earlier like you were scared of admin task and stuff. So right now, what is your nemesis right now in your business?
Like what was difficult, you say?
Oh, it's still difficult. It depends on you.
Yeah, yeah. One of the difficulty was, but it's really attached to AI. But AI is difficult because you need high powered machine. Like
Hmm.
I cannot run my models on my computer. I need bigger servers, bigger machine like GPUs, and this
Yeah,
is quite expensive. So even like when you train models, when you are in development phase to try some pieces
yeah,
of models together, it always takes time and it kind of makes anxious because you see like the cost of the machine is per second. So you
yeah.
see the second and you say, oh, this take time and it failed. I have to try again. And this is kind of a
You're
pressure
like
way
in
to,
casino, you're playing with money each time.
yes. So this is difficult. Also, one thing is difficult is to get some data.
Hmm.
Because to train some specific models, I have to make partnership with some companies to give me the data. So
Oh,
I think that's kind of big issues I encountered.
yeah. I remember I did like you a bit the first IA project you did, you know, the funny one. I did something a bit like that with
Mm,
making couple pictures for Christmas, like a kind of Christmas card with your partner. So you put pictures separate of you, and the IA creates the postcard for you. And that was so long to each time you want to try is like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and you're like, oh God. And then you realize, oh, I fuck up again.
yes.
So, so it took you 3 days while the front end was ready, everything was ready like in a day or two because you can test like every seconds basically. But with IA, it's like so slow. Like you do a test every minute, every 10, 20 minutes. So you need to, yeah, the way of working is like very, very slow in the IA field. So I
Yeah, it's
resonate.
really take time to test and also to train. Like if you Yeah, you can train model, you can use model. Using it takes time, but also training is
Yeah, harder.
even.
I realized also on this field for me was something very like annoying is like there are no much information on internet. Like when you're doing like front end, like the technology exists for 5 years, so it start to be well documented. All the problem as well are well documented. And IA stuff, I feel like, oh, I find a problem, and then no one has this problem online. So you're like, okay, so what do we do? Stack Overflow doesn't know, IA doesn't know. So you just like keep trying stupid things until you realize like how to bypass the problem. But it's crazy this field for me, and it's evolved all the time. Like I saw on Twitter, like Danny Postma was talking about that. Like you never sleep basically because things are evolving all the time. I don't know for you if you have this because your field is maybe less moving, like because it was a lot of problem in the human body and stuff like that. So each time there are an
Mhm.
evolution, they need to keep up. But do you have this also this race of keeping up with the latest model and stuff?
Yes, exactly the same. I have to be aware of which models are more realistic and which one, yes, is more accurate. And it's always a game of working with some parameters to fit the use case.
Okay. And
Mm.
do you see a big change in the business when the model evolve? Like, do you see like just changing the model, for example, is making like a bigger business like really fast, or there are not so
Um,
much impact, so fast impact?
yes, there is high impact by changing models. It really depends on the use case, but for instance, I my current model for the exteriors, it's a bit of unnatural. It's kind of fluo for the grass.
Hmm.
So yes, the green is really green,
Too green.
like you don't. Yes, a bit too green. And I really fine-tune model to have a natural aspect, and I'm really happy because it worked yesterday. So now I have to put it in production, make
Nice.
some a bit more test. But yes, it's really the before and after is really incomparable.
Okay. Okay. So that's crazy. Crazy work. I am happy I'm not touching IA anymore. I mean, unless working with it like to help me code, but to create project with IA is like it requires such a dedication. So I'm glad you did.
No, but I feel you because now I'm saying, okay, now I want to create business not on AI, but a more easier
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Not really
For-
easier. I mean, easier technically because it's not, yeah, to
I
reach audience is not easier.
yeah, I think for me it's not even like easier technically because like it can be hard technically, but in other kind of business, when you manage to find the path to the hard way to fix the thing, usually you don't need to change it every 2 weeks. So, right now in my business, I am trying to solve a big problem, which is technically very, very hard, is to do partial updates. So, Capgo is an update system for mobile apps, and what I'm doing is just zipping the update, sending the update. And this is nice, but when an app is like 500 megabytes, this is bad for the user. So what I'm trying to do is to find what's changed in the app, in the
Hmm.
update, and just send that to the user. And this whole process of like cherry picking the files, uploading the right files, like doing the checksum of every file, comparing the checksums in every place in the app, is like, it's very complex. And it took me like since last year we tried to work on it. We managed to do it last year, but the code was so bad and so messy, so we couldn't put it in production because of so many bugs. And now we're doing it again, and I expect like in September it will finally be out. But this is like a long, long story. But I know when it will be done, it will be done. There are no new model of partial updates coming, or unless I find a better way. But normally it will be good, and I can focus on marketing and other stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, yeah, that's something now I'm looking like if I launch a new business, I will try to find solution like they are working long term because AI is like a lot about short term things. Like you have to keep up with everything because it's recent, so it's make it harder. It make it also very good money. That's why like many project success and a big success, but the job is harder. You have to be like better in every aspect to compete properly. And yeah, huge respect for you doing that and making it work.
Thank you. But I think AI, it's not it's a tech, but it used to be like you market your SaaS because there is AI. So you say, "Hey, I have AI," and I even serve the train like it's called AI-Crea.
Yeah.
But I think people in the end really don't care if it's AI or nothing else. They just want something that answers their needs.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I think IA will not be a marketing argument anymore for like not much in the future. Because what the user wants to know, it's like it's realistic, for example, or like you do a beautiful exterior and the grass look like natural, but like knowing this is done by AI or fucking human or whatever, a painter, they don't care. They just want the result. So
Yes.
often it's the same with the Apple product, you know, they don't sell like a CPU. They just sell like this is so powerful. This is even 10 times powerful than your last Mac. And that makes sense, like for users, like wow, okay, amazing. Like how we did it? It's because we reduced like the nanometers of the printing or whatever. Then no one's care. Like only the tech people look at it, but Apple don't market that nowhere, almost nowhere. Maybe now it's a bit different sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
completely.
You have to be like focused into the user benefit instead of the technically behind it. And that often, I think, something like developers, indie makers don't do well is because they are so proud of the techniques behind. You know, they will almost tell you which framework they use to do this this thing, and you're like, yeah, man, I don't care. I want to pay for
Yeah, because indie
something.
maker are really focused. I usually tech people, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, and that's why also, if you look at the boilerplate kind of ecosystem, you know, much of them are selling like technical thing, you know, like Mark Lu, for example, is selling like, okay, you're gonna ship fast, and he's fucking like killing it because that's what he sell. He sell like people like they are struggle to launch project, so he's selling them. You're gonna do it fast. And that is a huge benefit. Behind, if it's JavaScript, TypeScript, shitty code, you don't care. You just want to know, like, you're gonna do it faster. And most of people are like, yeah, but it's bad code behind. It's like, yeah, you miss the purpose. Like, we don't care about like the code. I mean, some people will care, but the one who care will probably not succeed anyway because they have to care about the users, not their own needs. And yeah, but that's very funny to see that. I think for me the boilerplate thing is the place where you can see this the most, because like most of developers concurrent of Mark are selling like features, technology, like it's in Vue.js, or it's in whatever. It's like, yeah, cool.
yeah, I build also a boilerplate, but
Oh
not
yeah.
for SaaS. Yeah, but mine is not. I'm not selling like feature or tech. Yes, the tech. I think it's kind of important because you won't sell a Next.js boilerplate to someone that code in
Yeah,
PHP.
there's
But
something I agree.
no, I'm selling the boilerplate to create directories website because I needed one actually, and I said, okay, this is kind of annoying it's a same website for every directory. You
Yeah.
have listing posts and you can sponsor one and you can send some and you have some categories. So each time is the same. So I said, okay, we all have the same need, I guess. So let's try to. So I did it for myself at the beginning and then I said, okay, now I can try to sell it because I saw it's people actually send boilerplate. Why not me?
Yeah, yeah, no, no, it's a good market, especially when you have like a niche or something, you know, you're competent in it and you can provide value to users. It's definitely it. What I don't believe in is when you try to sell things because you believe the guy who is selling the most is doing it wrong. Just
Yes.
starting with this idea is already stupid. Like because he's selling, he's right, he's right on something. Maybe on, not on everything, but like user are thinking he's right because it's not the first one, you know, like many boilerplate exist like before.
Mhm.
So same for you. Like if you sell, you're right. And so I hope you do. Did you launch it already?
Yes, I launched it I think in June or May. And, but this is really different. I mean, it's kind of really side project. Built it,
Yeah.
sold it, and now it's running. It's one-time payment. And with this, I experimented the AppSumo's
Ah,
launch.
that's the one of AppSumo
That's the
you
one,
put?
yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because AppSumo I think for subscriptions, it's quite a nightmare because you sell
Yes.
lifetime deal and you have to generate coupons, so things like that. It's really, really not easy. So yes, I experimented with this because
That's
it's
interesting.
easy.
You,
It's a
yeah,
zip file, so I can just
yeah,
upload the file to AppSumo and people pay and they receive it.
and get it. Yeah, I'm very surprised you did that because like for me, AppSumo market is more like marketers or there are developers there. Like, you did good sales on it?
I made not good. I think I made a few sales, but that actually was a big problem that some people were not developers. And
Uh,
I'm really saying I'm selling boilerplate in Next.js with blah blah blah, but
for
also
code, yeah.
some yes, also once it's installed, you can manage the boilerplate without coding because I implemented some no code admin dashboard. But you have to be coder to install it and to modify the design. But some people didn't know, so they just buy because it's cheap and and then say, ah, but what is this? I received the zip file. What do I
Yeah,
do with
this is
this?
the code.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
not a developer.
So
Ask ChatGPT, okay?
yes, I even changed the description to say, warning, this is for developer because I had like 2 or 3 people telling me this.
Complain. Okay.
But once I had, some developers buy it, and I think, one of the best review I had. I read in my mind that someone that say good thing about it. At first, he said it's not good, and then he changed his mind because he joined the Discord, and we are
Hmm.
here to help. So he joined. We help him with the code and to reach what he wanted to install. And yeah, he changed his review with a very good review. We didn't ask for it, really, because I think we built it, but we don't really care if
Yeah, it's a side
we don't
game.
really spend time to market it. And so he changed his review, and at the end he said, buy whatever Pauline is building because it's really awesome. You can ask question later.
Yeah,
So
I saw
I
this.
think,
You tweeted this week.
yeah, I
That's so
think I
cool.
will frame it to my bedroom.
Max ego
No.
every morning. You're like, ah,
Ju-
yes.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Why not? Sometimes, we need that. We need like this nudge in our life to remember, like we're doing also things good. Like, on the bad days, you will read it and you're like, oh yes, I'm not doing so bad.
Yes, exactly, because we always see some success, but we have some big fail also, and sometimes I'm really not in the mind. I'm really not in the mood. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say, okay, this is hard. Will I ever make money with something? Could I live from my business? So yes, sometimes it's hard, and it's good to see some positive messages.
Yeah, and I think we have a tendency to easily forget the good and focus on the bad. Like you will tell like hours about how much you're struggling and how much you're bad at doing marketing, admin, or whatever. But your
Mm,
fucking success, you will talking maybe once, two, three, and then forget, like because I think we have this kind of thing where we believe like talking about our success is bragging at one point, so you have to limit yourself. In fact, I believe this is also very good for ourselves, to not like get insane just thinking about the bad things for hours. Like this winter for me, I was like that. I was like in struggle. Everything was like a mess. Nothing was working, and it was so hard. While I have many things, I have good success, and still, I have a SaaS making money and stuff like that, which is like very hard already. And I was just like in my mind about like the bad stuff, like I'm struggling with money, I'm struggling like to do things, I don't have clients right now, this isn't safe, blah blah blah. And it's just in your mind, and at one point you get out of that, and everything is better again. Everything is in the
y-
mind.
yes, yes, really, we have to focus also on really think about we do some things that are positive, and we have to really remind ourselves that we are playing the hard game. Like having
Oh yeah.
a job and doing your job every day, it's easy. You have the pay at the end of the month, but we don't know if we will be paid. So this is really stressful, and we have to be aware that it's not an easy path.
Oh yeah, and in so many aspects, it's like impossible even to picture it before you start. You know, you have like, okay, you have to build a product. That's a difficulty because even if you're good at your job, maybe as a software engineer, you know to do one job. Now you need to do the whole job. So you have to be like full stack more than you ever think or imagine because you're managing everything. You're managing servers, you're managing the code, you're managing like the task, you're managing the order of the task. So you're doing fucking every job, but you have also to manage the admin. You have to be sure like you're not doing shit. You're legally, your business illegal where you sell. And trust me, this is a mess. Like right now, I'm not doing it correctly because when you sell everywhere in the world, you have to declare tax everywhere in the world, and this is a mess to do that. I tried to create like this month. I was like off the threshold of UK, and I tried to
Mm-hmm.
create a UK tax declaration thing. I still didn't do it. I'm like I was stuck in the form, like I didn't understand what I had to do and what they were asking, and I asked like ChatGPT or stuff, and the answer was kind of weird, and I was like,
Mm.
what the fuck? Just tell
But
me, like, give me a tax number, I tell you how much, and we pay, and that's it. No, you have to have very broad question, you know.
what
So
you said is really, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
no, go,
But
go, go.
it's really important because I think on a lot of people's mind, Handy, I think it's developers and maybe a bit of marketing to sell. But around this, you have indeed, you have to take care of the administrative. Like today, most of my morning was, I wrote a contract for a company. I had to put some invoices to my bank, and yeah,
Yeah,
this is some things that are really annoying, annoying. And
definitely, it
but we
definitely,
have to
yeah.
do it because there is nothing, no one will do for us.
Yes, yeah, that's not like when you're an employee. Some tasks you can do, no, I give it to my N plus one. Yeah, but here you are the N plus one. So it's just you with you. If you don't do it, that's your problem. And if you forget, that's still your problem. No one is going to tell you, you know, if you don't do things like legal requirement of your business and you forgot, no one will come after you until they came for a fine or something bad. Like just as an example, we were talking about the tax thing, and this winter I was struggling so much mentally and stuff like that, and I
Mhm.
had to pay tax, and I was like, I cannot look admin stuff because I'm already like so much underwater. I cannot look. And in Estonia, they are very strict about tax. If you don't pay tax on time, they charge you like a fee every day, who grow if you don't pay. So you have to be very
Wow.
careful about it. Yeah. And I totally forgot. And for me, like I pay, this is just like it's like a non-eventment paying tax. And this month, like this week, I received an email from my accountant. They say, okay, because last year you forgot to pay tax for X day, so now you have to pay 100 euro. And if you don't, they will get it directly in your account. I was like, what? And I couldn't even understood what they were saying, so I had to ask them like to understand it. And they explained me later, okay, it's because last year you remember we asked you to pay tax 3 times. And even with these 3 emails, I never answer, I never look at it. And then I have to pay like more tax because of that. So it's not a lot, it's 100 euro. But still, you have so many kind of things like that in making a business who's making like too complex, like, or complex. Like another point, like people don't know is when you create a business, you have a brand around this business. For example, IDEACrea. And this brand has to be protected because if you don't protect it at one point, someone can protect it himself, and then you cannot use your own name anymore. I'm like, fuck. So I did that for CapGo like recently because I saw in US someone has the same name, but it's
Okay.
capgo.ia. So I had to trademark like 2 weeks ago I trademark CapGo in US. So it cost me like 500 euro to do that, to learn about that, to understand how to do that. And then after I will have to go to contact the company and tell them, hey man, I have the trademark, so can you fuck up? And
Yes,
yeah.
this is the annoying thing.
Yeah. This is then so many things like that, and you don't want to deal with that, but you have to, because if you don't, then at one point someone is going to kill your business, and it's just like that. I think at one point you're just trying to don't die. You know, you're not trying to create your business. You're just trying to don't die in so many aspects, like just a juristic aspect, it's like
Exactly, and you always have to think, like because you said as far as the trademark, it's totally useless at the beginning because you don't know if it works, and at which
yeah,
point it
yeah.
will
Don't do it
someone will
before
take
starting,
it.
please.
Yes, I mean you can register when you make good money because before this,
Yeah.
otherwise you just change your name. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's annoying.
But if you, for example, like at the beginning, it's your name is not a problem because you're no one. You're no one, even if you believe you are the smartest in the world, you're no one, and you don't do shit. And we have to agree on that. Everyone, like when we start with no one, and even a new business, when you have already a running business, and that's okay. And that's take time to create a brand, to create a presence, to create SEO, to exist for users. Like my brand took like 2 years to exist, like Capco. And now
Yes.
this brand exists, and this is one of my assets of my company. And this asset has to be protected, otherwise someone can steal Kabun name, do a website on it, and steal my whole SEO. And if he trademark it before me, I'm fucked. And that's bad. But you have to care about that when you have already created a brand and an asset to protect. You don't protect asset who doesn't exist yet. Yeah, that's this kind of thing like you hate as entrepreneurs, but you have to do it, and you are the only person who can do it. So I'm not coding when I'm doing that. I'm not doing marketing. I'm just doing admin stuff and learning about. For example, in US, you cannot trademark yourself. In Europe, you can trademark yourself. So I created the trademark like a year ago already, and it's super easy. And thanks to Europe, I don't know why, but we have like you can ask for a coupon, a discount, and you get refund like 70% of the trademark as a startup. Super nice.
Oh,
Just
okay.
if you don't know, you have to
In
fill a
Europe.
form. Yeah, in Europe for the whole Europe,
Okay.
and also they offer you to refund partially of US or anywhere in the world as a startup. But I think it's like 50% or 30%. But you have a time frame to do it. So I think I missed the time frame. I will not be able to be refunded on the US one. But in US, I
Mm.
went to the so if you search online to trademark, there are so many websites, and if you look at the rating of the website, everyone says it's a scam. So I was like, oh, okay. If do US has like a Europe an official website for trademark, and of course they have. So I register, I spend like I think 2 or 3 hours doing that, because first to register you need to create an identity in US with a system where you need to call someone, validate your identity. So it takes a long time. They ask you many things in the trademark website. I managed to have an identity valid in US, blah blah blah, until I
Mhm.
reach the point and they say, okay, what do you want to trademark? For which company? And say, okay, it's company, foreign company. They say, okay, are you in US? I'm like, no. And they say, okay, no, you need a lawyer from US and you
Ah,
cannot register yourself. I was like, no
so this
fucking
is,
way.
yeah. So no one tell you this, and this is the complexity. Like
Yeah. And I spent
you
half a
learn when
day
you
doing
are on
that.
it. We learn the hard way.
Yeah. So then I had to find a website which is not a scam to doing like the trademark for me. And I
Hmm.
find one, but some people were still saying it's a scam, but most of them not. So I was like, okay, maybe it's trustable. And I got yesterday, I think the paper from official from US. Like I have created the not the trademark, but I have created the request, because before you do, there's also something I learned doing that is like trademark is not so easy. It's take like 6 months or 8 months, because first you did the request, and then people have the way to claim, no, I have also this trademark, or I want also this trademark. And so there are a whole process of like they declare first you want the trademark, and then everyone can complain or can say, no, I have it already, or whatever. So it takes a long time. So now I have this in US like publicly, like I want this trademark, and it will take like a piece of time to like validate it and like have other people complain or brand close to. For example, in CapGo, I have another company. So the trademark attorney told me like they are Capco, which is a big company worldwide, and the name is very close, so they could fill a form to say no, my brand is too close to them, so I don't have the right to do it. I'm like, oh no, come on, please not. And then I can appeal this for 2,000 euro. I'm like, oh my God. Goodness. Why is not so simple? You know, like the whole process is like terrible. So yeah, so many things in the journey, on our journey, like we don't talk,
Oh,
and this
yes.
is
But this will discourage people. No. But no, this is something you have to be aware. But it's not always easy. But I think there's nothing you cannot, you won't be blocked. I mean, I don't know how to say, like, surmonter, if you know the English word. You can overcome.
overcome.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
overcome. Yeah, nothing you
yeah,
can overcome.
yeah.
And,
Everything, like, go
and
for
you,
it.
when you create a company, you go into some community, you join some communities, like we are on one
Yeah.
really small community, and this is, I think, really good for confidence, like to have some people who go through the same stage as you, and you can just ask your question. There's probably someone who knows the answer.
No, definitely you can. That's the good part of like indie making and like what we have on Twitter and everywhere, like in different Discord is like on Telegram for us. I realize I have so many that you can have help and you're not alone. And I think one for me, like doing the podcast is also my way to not be alone. And this is like I can share with you and anyone what we struggle and ask question about that. And that's the beauty of it. But yeah, definitely one sentence I like to repeat myself is, if it was so easy, everyone will do it.
Hmm.
And, and this is not the case. Like there are very few entrepreneurs. When you start to be an entrepreneur, when you look around you, most of people are not like you anymore. Like it's
Yes.
for me, I don't know for you, maybe in Paris it's a bit better. But here I find like two, three, four people I can resonate with, and they are entrepreneur and not good, and not all are good, you know, like doing good. I mean, they are not like successful, and they are trying or struggling. But on the few I find, they are not so much like very, very huge. Like I know one which is huge because it started 20 years ago here where I live in Madeira. But
Hmm.
otherwise, the others are like kind of same level as me, not really like big success or successful.
Yes, totally. Because you can compare with someone who is doing multi-million dollar. It's not the same level.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When I talk with this guy, is like he has totally different problem. Like it basically one sentence he told me will make me laugh a lot. He say, "Why are you making something like 8,000? Like why are you doing that? Like come to work with me. I have business dying. We make like millions, and I don't know how to save them. So help me saving them, and it's way better." I'm like, wow, so different problem. Like your main problem is to not lose money because business are dying because you don't know the people left in the company or stuff like that, so you don't have the competencies to keep them anymore. I'm like, whoa, you're just like fighting. More you grow and more you fight back about dying. It's just what you're doing. That's why big companies struggle to innovate and stuff like that, because there's so many things that can kill you at
Yes.
scale. I believe also that's why personally I want to stay like indie maker and not like make $1 million company, because I believe $1 million company came with million problems, and I want to limit my number of problems to a certain level.
That's probably the case. Yes, I can tell. I never experienced this.
Yeah. But do you have this way of you want to stay indie maker, or you want to create something huge? Or what do you aim for with Idea Career?
I like the idea of indie hacking, but I mean, if I have like a lot of clients and for AICrea that they want some specific extra, of course I will have to grow the team.
Mhm.
Like for the moment we are four, but so I don't know. I don't know the vision. Like, what does it say? Like to stay indie hacker or to, probably that if I grow it bit more. So maybe there will be a team working on AICrea, but I probably won't stop to create some projects on the side because I like it.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I really like to create, and I think I've said that like in the past, but my favorite journey is the 0 to 1. You know, when you have nothing and it start to exist. That's so
Hmm.
cool to do that. The path from 1 to 100, I'm learning to appreciate it right now because Capgo start like working now, but this is so different and less funny in a way, you know, like now I'm like, okay, how can I optimize my email opening? Like, okay,
Mm.
great. Like, how I can like have less support, you know, it's just like optimization of things. And I see I have one guy working with me, my intern, and he's like really a guy from 0 to 1 as well, like because of course I attract the same people as me. And when I ask him like, "Hey, can we optimize this kind of thing?" He's like, "Not interesting." It's like I don't like that. Like, can I
Yes.
create something new? It's so much funnier to create new and like create new things. But more you grow in the business, less newness you will have, and more it's like making things work smoother or keep them not dying. It's like more legacy you have. So you will keep
Yep.
creating project. And what is the next project you're launching or you're thinking to work on?
I don't know yet. I mean, I do have some ideas, but I didn't really start it to work on.
Okay.
But I'm thinking on a product for people who run business.
Oh, yes, please.
So yeah, no, more like an affiliation SaaS. But there is no. I didn't really find some good SaaS for affiliation for people who just started because you have to pay each time, and I would like something more affordable that you pay only if you earn money. So that's something I would like to do.
I think I found some, but they are not really like working well. For example, I have Reflio, I think, on mine.
Yes, but it's not anymore. It doesn't exist anymore.
Really? Finally? Or you
Uh,
just say that because
I
the guy
mean,
not answer?
I think it doesn't exist anymore because I tried like to contact and some people say it's dying, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Did you
kind
try?
of yeah, I have it, and the support is unreachable. The guy is not taking care of it, definitely, but it still
Okay.
exists and it still can work if you manage to not have bugs like me. But it should work. And yeah, this I agree. This is like I hate that. Like when people don't take care of the things they sell, like or just close it would be better. But letting die is like so weird. Or
Yeah,
just
so
sell
just
it.
giving to someone else or like not
Yeah.
giving but selling or whatever. But yeah.
And I think it was open source at one point and they stopped to be open source. The story of this software is like a bit weird.
Yeah, I know it was
Definitely
mhm.
do an affiliate think better, please. And there's something you can combine. It's like do affiliation and also the public rating, you know? This, like a trust pilot for indie maker, would be like, for me, super good. Because like Trustpilot and other kind of things like G2 and I don't know, this is not really look
I don't understand the second one you said. Ah, Trustpilot
the
for a review
indie
you said.
makers, yeah, the review system,
Oh,
but
okay.
way better made. You know, right now making a review system is like you can send your users to Trustpilot to go to register themselves, but you cannot, for example, put in your project directly like a mobile app, you know, like rate us now, and you click and the guy is auto registered to the website if it isn't, or you click on the link to validate or whatever. But something easy in your software to rate will be like perfect for me. And then it's published on the website and they verify the email themselves or whatever. But yeah, right now the all this business of rating are very old school, and the website is like discussing, and yeah, definitely something better could be done and cheaper because when you start to look at the price of Trustpilot, you're like, what? It's insane.
Yeah, so I didn't really have this in mind. So I have a lot of ideas, but review is not one. I mean, I could think about it, but I don't think it's on my. It's
I
not
am pushing it to
something
everyone.
because yeah, but I think
I'm,
review system is not something I enjoy
yeah.
as a user or as.
Yeah,
So
I
I
don't
don't
enjoy
know.
it too.
So I
That's why
don't
I'm not
think I
doing it
want to
myself.
build. Yes, that's why.
I'm giving
So,
the baby to everyone who wants it. Please, if you listen to the podcast and you want to do it, Pauline doesn't want, go for it. Go for it. And why then affiliate is something you resonate with?
why? Because this is something that you need on every SaaS. I mean, this is part of my strategy to have an affiliation program each time. But each time, if you have to pay a different SaaS, like you don't even
Yeah.
know if your business will make money, and you certainly need the affiliation to make money. So yeah, I think it's really something that it's a cost. And when you start, you don't want cost everywhere. When you make money, it's okay. You pay for software that brings money, but when you don't have, it's difficult. And at the beginning, you have to pay a lot of software. So this is one I would like not to pay, not because I build it, but also in the mindset, I would like it to be free until you make money.
Yeah, I agree. There are also something like I don't like with affiliate is like kind of there is a whole complexity to install that in your own software because you have to have it since the first page, so probably your landing page, and
Hmm.
then it has to be in your SaaS as well, and that's like fucked up for privacy. There's so many matter like because we're in Europe, so this is definitely complex. Like I would like something simpler, like in Stripe they allow coupon. So like if you do an affiliate system, we create like automatic coupon in Stripe, and then you
Hmm.
just check the coupon check, like you do one coupon by user, and then you know, oh, if this coupon got used, it's because the affiliation worked for one user. Will be super simple. You don't need to install this shit everywhere. Just the guy they put their coupon as they want, and if they got someone, then give them a part of it super easily.
Hmm.
Maybe you can do it in a week. This if you do super simple coupon affiliation system on
The
Stripe.
coupon, yeah, it could be. No, I don't think I don't really enjoy the coupon websites. Like for instance, I know because I saw it. Sometimes I check my SEO and I saw the backlinks, and I saw that one website that was coupon something
Mhm.
offered free promotion coupon for AICrea. But this is bullshit. I mean,
No
I
way.
don't have a partnership with them. It's a fake promo code. So people try, and the try in AI
Complain.
it doesn't work. So some people just build websites. Like I said, there is a lot of
Mhm.
coupons, etc. I think it's a bet that you are trying to see a lot of offer, and then probably that they reach out to every business to
Yeah.
make some deal with them. But no, I don't have any of this, and I was really surprised when I saw it. Say, wow, come on, Tom, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, no,
totally
that's
fake.
bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. But what I was saying is not to create like really coupon in a way like to for this website. It was more like hacking the coupon system of Stripe to do affiliation or to manage to do
Ah.
affiliation. Then it get easier to build it and to manage it instead of asking the person to install on every step something. He can just
Hmm.
like yeah, just with the coupon you generate for him. But yeah, you're right. Maybe then your coupon will happen in this kind of shitty website, and that's you don't want. I didn't knew that exists still. I wish this kind of business, I don't know if you have that, but there are some businesses I hate the way they execute or do things, so I'm kind
Yes.
of kill them in my head so they don't exist. I'm like, no, that's not possible in this world, in my world.
Absolutely. And there is some kind of such webs that you don't like or you would like to exist. You know it like the one you want for Trustpilot. It's
Yeah,
like it's not so difficult to build, but it's really something that you don't want to do. And so you just
yeah, yeah.
ask. if only there was a better service for this. Like for
Yeah,
instance, in France, like when you want to have an appointment with a doctor, there is a service for
yeah,
this. And I don't like many things on it, and it's very frustrating. But they are like the biggest company, so you can do anything on
yeah. Like you talk about like Doctolib or stuff like that.
it. Yes.
Yeah, funnily, I was complaining a lot about like this kind of Doctolib and other names. They are not the only one. They are just the bigger.
Hmm.
But I realize now I live in Portugal and there are no Doctolib or also whatever. Like if you find a system who do online booking, most of the time they don't have any doctors on it or stuff. It's insane. I'm like, how do I book a doctor? You go there and you go like all the way. I'm like, oh my God, really?
But isn't it a huge opportunity? Like, don't you want to build a Doctolib for Portugal?
Honestly, no. It's like a trust pilot. I don't. That's not a business I want. I don't want to go to talk to every doctor. And I think here, if it doesn't work, it's not because like they didn't think about it, because the platform exists, but they are empty or like the people are not taking care of it. Here in Portugal, I found kind of people are old-fashioned in many things. So even if you want to book a taxi here in Madeira, you go to the app and there are nothing in the app. Like there are no one. Even they allow taxi now on it, they are not in the app. And you're like, "Wait, so there are no taxi available? What the fuck?" Then you call the guy from the taxi company. They say, yeah, I can send you someone in 5 minutes. Do you want to go by the app? I'm like, what do you mean? Say, okay, I will call the guy, he will start the app, and then you can book him. I'm like, what? What the hell? Why is not starting the app? Oh, kind of old-fashioned. They prefer to get call. Like, oh my God, this is possible. This exists. Insane. They just protest by not using technology. And so I think the doctor do the same, and that's very funny. Like, it's just like not going like further in the society because just people are like, nope, nope, no, don't care.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, if I had Dr. Libby here, I would not complain because working. I mean, working.
Okay,
Oh,
so maybe that's an opportunity for people who listen to us.
yeah.
Create a, a system for a point.
I think what you could do if you really want to do it is to hack the system. You put a booking system, and you put a big loader when the people try to book, and at this time you call the doctor with IA and ask him his availability, and put it back to the software. But in
No, and
fact,
I think, yeah,
go.
no, no, I think as a whole, like there is many apps that now you can book appointment. Like for instance, we call it like for doctors, for
Mm,
Uber, but also like even if it is for a hairdresser. Like now I don't call hairdresser to say,
oh yeah.
when do you have? Oh, Monday. Oh, better Tuesday. Which time? Oh, okay, let me see. This is annoying. I hate having this kind of call. Yeah, and I found an app that is called it's called 312, so I can book hairdresser.
Nice.
And this is something I really enjoy this kind of business because no one lose time of. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
it's less human. You don't have someone, but I don't consider having someone to phone and say, "Oh, when do you have a very human and very add value?"
Yeah, they have no value. They have value where you go
Yes,
there and the guy has the time to talk
and
with you or do things like to put a treatment. But like on the booking is not really valuable for me. I will prefer the guy put on his website like a Calendly or something, and it's enough, like you just book like 30 minutes or an hour slot and it will be good. It's like it's insane this kind of stuff still not be solved after so long, like especially here in Portugal, like I call and the guy don't even fucking answer, so you have to go there and check there are people or not, and tell you, yeah, in 1 hour. Like, okay, what I'm doing for an hour now, I stay around. So each time I go to like a haircuts or stuff, like I take my computer and like, okay, I will work from there until You see my head? This is not haircut since long because I came 3 times and 3 times was full as fuck, so I gave up.
Wow.
Yeah, this is so bad. But yeah, Portugal has many good things, but not booking is not one of them.
That's okay. You cannot have everything in a country.
Yeah, definitely. I think at the beginning, I think, in France, we like to complain about everything. And I've seen so many people leaving France. They're like, yeah, it's a bad country for whatever reason. And
Mhm.
then they go somewhere. And after a while, if you talk to them again, they remember like, oh, France was not so bad for that and that, because where I'm living, this is bad, this and this. And and then you realize like, I think everyone should like live abroad one year somewhere in their life. Like it should be mandatory, by the school of things, like because it changed so much the value you have for your own country. Right now, there are many things I hate
Mhm.
from France still, and I don't want to live there. But I value it so much than before when I was living there, and I was like, everything is shit in this country, like everyone is saying. Now I'm like, yeah, look others, and you will see. I have a very funny example, like in France, like everyone say often, like, oh, politics are bad or corrupted or whatever. Well, get
Yes,
out of your
totally.
country. You will see what is corruption. Here in Madeira, we got like 150 policemen. They came from Lisbon because they couldn't trust any policeman in Madeira. So they make them take a plane just for the policemen to go to Madeira, to arrive in the morning to arrest the president of the island and the president of the city, both together in the same time at like 6 a.m. because they were like suspicion of corruption. And they found them in their house, like a lot of like expensive things, like diamond in a safe, like 150K in a safe, as well as like, guys. And everyone is like talking about corruption here because this is insane sometimes. And the guy got released after like 72 hours, like magically. It's like, oh, no
Yeah,
explanation.
things happen.
Yes,
It's
we had
like,
to release them. Oh yeah, it's so weird. But, so yeah, there are no much corruption in France compared to other places.
no, it's true that I don't think I mean, there is probably, but
Yeah,
not,
of course,
it's not
nothing,
common.
nothing is
Yeah.
perfect nowhere, and with power always come corruption. Like you will see it even at your own level. Like when you create a company, you don't do things perfectly. Sometimes it's like money company, but there's something. So you manage and then you fix it, or sometimes you don't fix it and you do bad and you go to jail. But most of people do fix it to don't do bad. But that's happened even at your tiny level. You do some things like which is corruption of your own company because
Mm.
it's more convenient sometimes, or because you don't know some other times, or just because like you don't want to pay taxes, like you want to optimize in a way, which is corruption. So that's happened a lot. And imagine at your tiny level of your tiny company and your tiny power, what you're doing. So imagine the guy is fucking like on top of everything in a country. Temptation is so big. So probably they do a bit of shit. That's impossible to stop that, but we can work on it, like in the society, to make it better, and like push people to be less corrupted by putting better condition and stuff like that. But yeah, that's
Mhm.
happened, and that's normal. The things is just to not be abused. And I think for me, we should have more rules, like treating people as human instead of machine, because right now we have a lot of law. They're super strict about everything, and that's make things more complex. What I like, for example, lately is the law who happened in France is the right of forgiveness a bit. Like I think it's Macron did that or something. So if you did something shitty in your company, but you did a new, and you can prove you did a new, like you were doing so much shit, they can forgive you and just ask you to pay what you missed without a big fine or like killing your company. And I think that's what we should have also with politics and stuff like that in general. Is like no one is perfect, but we should just push people to get better instead of telling them, "Oh, you're a bad person." Yeah, but then everyone will be a bad person at one point, and you will have no one to do anything in this fucking world. But for me, the best alternative is to push people to improve. Like, okay, you were doing that bad. Okay, next year you have to do less bad, and every year like that. And this is what we should do collectively. And I think that's personally what I do with my company. You know, like there are some stuff, like for example, tax. I don't do it great, but each year I'm trying to do it better and to have more places in the world where I'm doing it correctly as they should and stuff like that. Okay, I think we can go to my finishing question. There was cool conversation with you. There's something I want to ask you is like, what's for you your biggest success in Indie Maker has been in Indie Maker? Because we did
What
the
was my
struggles. So
biggest success?
yeah,
I think it was like to be able to make enough money to invest in some people. That was very good. Like before, I had to do everything myself, or my co-founder did everything. And now, because we earn a bit of money, we are able not to live ourselves with the revenue, but at least to pay some people to help us on some aspect. Like for instance, and someone that did redesign totally the AICrea website. It wasn't planned actually. Someone just reached out to me on Twitter and sent a screenshot of, hey, I made this design. If you want, I can do something even better. If you like, you pay. If you don't, I'm go. And I say, okay, well, I will pay because it's good. And this is not something I wanted to invest money on, but because it was there and it was good, I say, okay. And I think it's cool to just unload some stuff. So I think this is one of, like I say, my big success. And yes, when you have some clients that just say your product is good, like I said, the review before I had, but for AICrea also there is some clients, they see AICrea for the first time, they try and they say, wow, this is amazing, I didn't know it could exist. I even have a fun story of I went to a real estate agency in Paris, and I went to see a guy, and I just entered and I gave him my card and I said, this is a product I built. It takes 30 seconds, 3 clicks to renovate a home. I give you my card, and if you want more, then just call me. And I just left. And he said, okay, you sure 30 seconds? Okay, ciao. And so I left, and then he, like 30 seconds later, a minute later, he just ran on the street to find me. He just
no
went,
way.
sorry, you said it takes 30 seconds. Can I just see? Because I have 1 minute, so we can do it.
We can do it.
That was very fun. And I think this is a success because people realize that it can bring them value.
Yeah, that's super cool story. Thanks for that. It's so cool. Like the guys run after you. It's like, okay, if it's fast, let's do it.
Yeah, this is fun. And actually, I never shared this anecdote before, but I should because it's very fun.
Yeah. Tweet it. And this the guy is a client now?
Yes, he's client now.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's a very good story. Like, it's perfect. And you do that often to go like directly to agency to talk to them, to leave your card and tell them you're doing that?
Not often, but because I live in a place and I already saw all of the agencies. But when when I'm in holidays or weekend or I in a new street and I have some minutes I can
Card.
spend, I go visit them. Yes.
Ah, okay. And it's like more opportunistic approach. It's like each time you have to do something on the way, like, oh, if I can do a stop and earn a client, it's cool.
Yes, because it's very time consuming. I mean, I could do this, but
Yeah.
first, I'm not what I say a
Salesperson.
salesperson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to have to sell like, hey, this is very cool.
Yeah, I like
Not
your
my
approach. It's like, hey, I'm doing that. If you want it, you can take it. I'm leaving. Bye. It's
exactly.
like super quick, and if they are like interested, and otherwise they leave it. The card they die on the desk, and it's okay. You didn't like bother them too much, and you're not like doing a sales speech like super annoying. I will like definitely like be impossible for me. Like what you're doing, I could do if my business was easy to find in the street, the guy, my client. But like doing sales pitch, like going to people and trying to sell them, it's like I've done that in my life. I try, and it's horrible. I hate this feeling. I feel like in an exam, you know, each time or something. Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I
no,
mean,
it's
you have to be able to face rejection when you do it, and I don't like it.
yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
really
it's
annoying.
it's even more than rejection. It's like because you know, asking someone for a date or something like that, you have, I think, more chance than sales pitch. Like when you do sales, it's really like, you know, you go to bother someone. You know, for example,
Yeah.
if you go on a date with someone, you both agree to go there. But if you move to the place of the people and they didn't ask for it, like it's horrible. Like now I'm doing sales call where people book me, so I know they want to know about the product. So I'm not
Mm.
trying to sell them anything. I'm just like answering their question and show the best of my product. And that I like because I get great feedback. I'm not selling. I'm not pushing them to do anything, and I enjoy. I also get some feedback so they can improve my landing page and stuff like that. But doing cold email or cold call or stuff where you like push the door of someone who didn't ask anything, I hate that. Like I hate when someone do it to me, so I couldn't do that to anyone. I don't know for you. Do you do like outreach, cold outreach?
I tried a bit with mailing, but I don't really like this approach.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's very hard
I
to.
hate when people do it on me,
Yeah,
especially
same.
by phone. I hate when I receive some phone calls
Random.
because I see a number. I don't know if it's someone I don't know if it's a client or something. I answer and they beep.
Hey, do you
Wait
want?
for a second. Yes, really. I really wonder, are there really person that buy stuff like that? That say, oh, I have a, okay, I will wait. No,
Yeah,
that's
no,
annoying.
I really don't understand how this business succeed. Like how like you can pay so many people calling so many people and that works. Like that's really like out of my mind for me. Like every cent counts. I don't know. They probably sell shit like so expensive compared to what they cost. Or I don't know. No, even because we do software. Software is supposed to have the best margin in the world. I have good margin. I cannot pay people to fucking call like 1,000 of people a day. It's like no, and I will never do that, even if my business explode. It's like oh, it's so bad.
Mm.
Let's go to my finishing question. I was supposed to go because we deviated, but that was cool. Thanks for the little story. Do you have something you will wish we told you before you started your journey?
Yes, but people told me, so does it count?
Ah, yeah, this is always like that, you know. My second question after that is like, if we will told you, you will listen, and this is like that. So go for it.
Yes, so at the beginning, when I do entrepreneurship, I built some like a product, and then I created a Facebook page, an Instagram page,
Mhm.
like stuff like that around it. So I a lot of things, but I had no clients. Like for Cryptopy, like my crypto trading
Mhm.
system, I created everything and I had no clients. So at the end, what happened? I trashed everything. So I after this, I had the great idea to create crypto games, like you could play some games against someone, and the one we win, will earn some crypto. It was
Okay.
my super idea. I said, I will do this, and I will be really rich. So, but I couldn't do this alone or just with my co-founder. So I called a friend that it's Thibaut Maker. It's
Ah, yeah.
you know him, yeah. So it's a guy very successful. But actually, I had no idea he was successful because I knew him from engineering school. He's a friend,
Oh, yeah.
and
Mhm.
yes, and we were in the same like I don't say association. I don't know if it's an
Ah,
English word, but a group
mhm.
of students with a purpose, and the purpose was
To do
to
parties.
create. No, not exactly the opposite,
Yeah.
actually. It was to
Oh yeah.
work with companies to create, like, it was kind of a freelancing
Ah, is
inside.
the startup school kind of I forgot the name.
It's a
It's junior
junior
entreprise?
entrepreneur. Yes,
Yes,
junior
yes.
entrepreneur. So
It's junior entrepreneur.
we were, so yes, we were into this. I know how he is. He's full of ideas, very smart. So when I wanted to build this business of crypto with my co-founder, I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's call Thibaut because I'm sure he could be good with this, and maybe he will be happy to join. But I had no idea at this time that he already had a very, very profitable business. So of course, he didn't care about this. But what he told me that day,
Hey, do you want my starting project? Do you want to join my starting project? Why?
if you want to join my failed,
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, we were. I didn't see him for a long time because he was
yeah.
abroad, so I didn't know this. And
And
well,
busy life, like everyone has a busy life. By the way,
exactly.
I had it in the podcast, not the English one, but in the French one before. When I was doing in French, he came to the podcast like long ago.
Ah, okay, didn't know.
Maybe I should ask him
So
to
he
come in
told
this year.
me one of his advice was, okay, it's cool to build business and have these pages extra, but what is in common between all projects? It's you. So I say just capitalize on yourself. And I really think about it and I say, yes, that's true. If people follow me instead of following a
The
company's
project,
page,
yeah.
and by the way, company's pages are usually way less seen than the creators, like the founders, because founders are persons, they are real persons. So people prefer to follow real persons than companies that say, hey, I have a new car with new features and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. On Twitter, I started Twitter.
Oh, that's because of him?
Yes.
Ah, that's cool.
I don't know if he's aware really of this, but yes,
I
it's
will send him the
because of him.
podcast. It's like we were talking about you.
Yeah, but yeah, I studied, and actually, I didn't even know his business was something. I mean, he told me he had a business on Twitter, but I didn't have the right name, so he said Twitter, but I didn't know how to write it, so I didn't know what it was. But yes, I started to tweet every day, and then I saw the progression, and people followed me. And actually, when people follow you and engage, you have a lot of opportunities. And that's, I think, it's really great because now when I start a new business, I'm not talking to the void. I have an audience. I can share my business, and they can tell me some feedbacks. And but also a side of business when I have questions like, "Oh, I'm stuck at this. Do you know someone else can help?" There is always people to help, and this is very, very valuable. It's not something like I wasn't comfortable at this before because I say, okay, what can I tweet? I don't know. I'm nobody.
Yeah.
But actually, no, I mean, I'm nobody, but I'm somebody. I mean, I have
You
a
have
story and we
you
all
have
have.
valuable things, yeah.
Yes, there are people, of course, there will always have people more experienced in some domain, but there is also some people who know less than you. So you always have something interesting to share. And that's how I started. And I think that's something very valuable. So thank you, Thibaut, if you listen to this.
And thank you because like I really like what you share, and I think you're on this podcast because I like what you share on Twitter. Like
Ah, thank you.
so that has worked. Thank you, Thibaut. You just make me realize, like, I took a note. Often in the podcast, I have notes of things like a good idea and stuff. And you say, like, about, like, the personal brand. And that's something I do already for the emails. Like, emails are very personal. The Discord is very personal. But the website, it isn't. So I think I will put my fucking face on it at one point, you know, and when you scroll, it's like, hey, I'm Martin. I'm the co-founder, the founder I don't know, co-founder, the founder of Capgo, and some text about the things like I am taking it personally, and that's my full-time job and stuff like that to help people.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the value of my business and of indie maker business is like often like when you have a problem, you talk to the founders, because they are not a big team and stuff like that. So I found like this is way more valuable than having someone in the support who is like not tech people, don't understand your problem. Like I think yesterday I got this from Recent. Recent is a SMTP like for
Mm.
startup, but they're kind of growing. So now they are like support people. And I asked a question because it was a bug in the protocol, like something was not working as expected. And the guy from support is not tech people. He's not doesn't know the product and everything. So he just answered me something who was in the documentation where I already checked it. And the way I was talking, you could see I checked things before, but he doesn't know much, and he's like a super person, so he's just answered something generic. And more you get bigger company, more the support is like that, and it's useless. You keep re-explaining your problem over and over to different people until you find the right, they find inside the company the right people you should talk to, and that's like so much time lost. Where every time I'm dealing with an indie maker, he's like, or he doesn't answer, he's dead, like in Reflio, or otherwise his answer and the problem is fixed super fast, or I have a solution super fast, and I love that. It's like instantly push to prod, fix your problem. Other questions, like oh amazing, like 5 seconds things.
Something strange about founders that disappeared. I realized because with next year's story, my corporate for
Mm-hmm.
directories, I created a demo of I exposed some SaaS and I have affiliation link on it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone visited the demo and bought a product on it. So I have the commission shared with me. It was in June.
Supposedly.
Exactly. Supposedly. Because what happened, I just thought about it I think yesterday, and I visited the website to be paid, to contact the guy,
Yeah.
but he doesn't exist anymore. I mean, his website is offline,
Yeah.
so I don't know what
I saw
happened.
mine.
Either something bad happened to him, and I really hope it doesn't, but either why would he shut service if he brings client, because at least I bring
Yeah.
one client for him, so I guess there was some others. So really, that was strange.
Yeah, no, that's very strange. I think that's one of the thing I'm fighting with I have like SMBs, but I have also like big corporate now using Capgo. And the most question of big corporate is like, okay, how do we know tomorrow you will still exist and you'll not disappear,
Mm.
die or something? And this is a tough question as an indie maker. Me, I have luck because like the whole product is open source, so I can say, you don't care if I die, you just copy paste the code, you have it, it's public, and you're good. And they're like, oh, cool. But otherwise, I think like if you're indie maker, it will be hard to sell to big corporate saying you're indie maker because this is a risk for them. Like this happen, and they're like, for them, integrate a solution takes more time, so they have to be careful about the thing, and you cannot like leave in 1 week from another or disappear from a week to
Yeah.
another. Even for us, is a pain. Like when you don't get your commission, or me for Reflio, the guy don't answer. Like I had the bug for weeks, and I think it took him 6 months to answer. I was like, what the fuck? I give up on the idea of doing affiliation, and the guy answer. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's insane. But yeah, do you have a favorite quote?
Oh, I had
It can be,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
It's long time I didn't think about quote, but there is one I like. It's now I have to think it about in English, but it says like aim for stars. No.
Aim for the moon and you end up in the
Yes.
stars.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, it's a very cool one. I really like it too. I think I said it to my partner yesterday. She was like struggling because she's also doing entrepreneurship journey, and it's like it's not easy every day, especially at the
Yeah.
beginning. Like she's only 1 year in, so the first year is like a shit show. And I told her that yesterday. She was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, but it's a metaphor, but I like it because even when you fail, like you learn so many things, and it will help you to. I mean,
Yeah,
not in the
yeah.
quote, but when you get a lot of, no.
No, I agree. Like anything you're doing, that's give you like more value in this world, and you just have to understand how to package it. Maybe you will, after your project fail or doesn't work or whatever, maybe you will do entrepreneurship again, and you will do every steps you did before way faster. Or maybe you will
Mm,
not, but then you will join a company and help them because you have done this path, you have done many struggles. So you will stop to be like a shitty employee who don't know entrepreneurship is. You are entrepreneur now, or you have been entrepreneur. So then your proposition on everything will be with the entrepreneur mindset, and it will be way better because you understand business part. So even if you like give up onto entrepreneur at one point and go back to business, you will be very helpful, especially in startups where this mindset is very important for everyone to have it. Because when you get corporate, it's okay if you have a mindset of employee, you will be very good. But in a startup, if you have a mindset of employee, you will be a problem for the company because you cannot act as an employee. You still have to be kinda entrepreneur. So if you have been entrepreneur before, it's perfect for startups. It's like gold, gold. So there are always something you take from your experience. I think for
totally.
me. So thanks for this quote. I will give a bit of context. So I wake up just before we had the call, and sometimes if you saw me having bugs, it's because all my brain is still not awake, still not awake. So my next question is for me is like egoistic question, like who I should invite after you in this podcast?
Sorry again.
Who I should invite after you in this podcast?
Try
Ah yes.
or
Wait.
Thomas Zahil. You can try.
Let me check because I think Julien, I had it already. Let me double check that. Otherwise, I mean Thomas.
Yes.
So I think he's plan. He's plan or was plan. Maybe I cancel. But yeah, okay, I will contact them. Again, the French crew, which is funny, you know, like I had a
Yes.
podcast in French and I found like I was like struggling to find guests, indie maker and solopreneur kind of this bubble at one point, and I was turning around. I find like more and more kind of startup guys who wanted to join because the podcast get bigger. So I was like, okay, I start again from zero in English, and then I will join Microde on Twitter, and because it's more where I hang out. And before the French podcast was more in LinkedIn, and I didn't like this word anymore. And now I'm doing it in English, and I have like 50 people, 50% of the people who came are French, and more. And I seeing like every day new solo makers talking in French. I'm like, what the fuck, guys? You wait to me to leave, then you start all your business. That was funny, but yeah. Okay, thanks for that. And the last question is for you. Before we say thank you to everyone to have listened to theirs, is where do we send people who wants to know more about you, Pauline?
For me or for people? That's weird because you say it's for everyone. I was.
Yeah,
So
no, I
where do
mixed
we
up the
find?
sentence. Where do we send people who wants to know more about you?
About me. So on X, because I tweet a lot, on my newsletter as well.
Oh, yeah, you have a
Um,
newsletter. I will
I
register
have a
after the
newsletter.
podcast.
I don't post much. I think it's once or twice a month, so it won't be spammy
Okay,
because I
cool.
have to
That's I like
find
that.
ideas, and I don't want it to be like industrial, like every week, this day. I want it to be whenever I have a nice idea, I want to share more about it. So yes, I have a newsletter. I will send you the link so you can
Okay, great.
write it.
And all
And
the
yeah,
links will be in the description as well of the podcast.
exactly.
Thanks for that. Thanks for joining me and spending an hour 37 with me. That was great.
Thank you, Martin, for this.
And so for the people who have listened to us and till arrived till there, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed. And if you enjoy or not, whatever, send a message, send me a message, send Pauline a message. It could be nice to say thank you for her time here. and for the valuable things you've learned. And see you in a week for the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.